Today we are back in the Royal City.
You are now watching WhoDooTV.
Welcome to WhoDooTV. I'm Jared.
And I'm Hooser.
And today we're talking about Royal City number 4. Story by Jeff Lemire, art by Jeff Lemire,
and mixtape by Jeff Lemire.
Right.
As always, this book has its mixtape in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in Royal City, make sure you check out the Spotify mixtape for Royal City Mix.
That's just the music he was listening to when he was writing this. It's not necessarily to go with the book, so it's definitely interesting to hop into.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that part.
It's pretty cool. A little extra flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And to make sure you're caught up with this book, we've done reviews of 1, 2, and 3. So make sure you watch those videos, catch up to it, come back and check us out. We also may be doing some spoilers of this book, so make sure you've read this book as well, and we'll see you once you've done it.
Royal City is a great title. It's another book with just awesome artwork, cool imagery, just it really makes you feel like you're inside the characters' heads. And that's kind of where we start off in this book. We start off with Pat, and he's just thinking about life and how he's growing older, yet he's still stuck in 1993 with the rest of his family. They're all struggling with this moment in time that they're all sharing together, which is Tommy's death.
And while Pat is actually writing all of this in the cafe, he runs across that same person that was outside that looks like she was kind of following him. And he asks her, "Are you a fan? You want an autograph?" And she pretty much laughs at him, admits that she actually read one of his books and likes the book that nobody else liked. And then he actually looks at her and says, "You look familiar." And they're left with this weird interaction again, and she kind of just fades out and walks away. So it's another twist of who is this person, what is their part of the story, and where are we going from here?
Yeah, it makes you question, like, is she dangerous? Is she someone that they knew in the past? Is this somebody that, you know, is going to play a big role in the future? Yeah, lots of awesome questions about this one. But after that interaction, we cut over to Richie and Tommy, who are just kind of sitting and talking about how they're going to come up with the money that they owe. And that's when they end up making the plan that they're going to steal their dad's old radios.
Tommy comes up with the stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need to make that money up so they don't get beat up, or so Richie doesn't get beat up again.
And then we cut over to their mom, and she's sitting in a pew. It's possible that she's praying for her husband, but she looks up and she sees a baptism going on, and she's really enjoying the view, and she goes up to watch them. It's this great picture of Tommy, and he's floating above them, kind of raining down, and you come to recognize that these people that are having the baptism done for the baby is Tommy, and the parents are there baptizing their own child, and they disappear, and she's kind of left in this empty cathedral, and it's definitely a picture of, like, she's alone in this. She really doesn't have anybody else because her husband is in the hospital and her kids are doing their own things and struggling with their own stuff, and it's a sad picture.
We then go into the sidewalk outside the cafe, and Tommy and Pat are having a conversation where Tommy is asking for his life back, asking for his story back, asking for the notebook back that Pat's been carrying around using for his story. Pat agrees to do it, and they end up walking towards this tower and a little river, and Tommy ends up going off into this river and kind of disappearing, and the last scene we're left with is Pat tearing apart the paper and throwing it into the river, almost like a new chapter is beginning for him.
It's a powerful scene, I have to say, especially because all that is truly left of Tommy and not left in their imaginations is this notebook, and I mean, it's big for Pat to have to tear that up and throw that away. It's just a story that really just keeps going and makes you wonder. It's got this surrealism to it, yet it really just feels like it hits home a lot.
There's not much to this issue I haven't said about the other issues, that it's just a very story of family having hurt and pain, and it continues, and it just keeps digging deeper and uncovering more layers to this. It is just a really good book altogether.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a book that you want to pick up if you want a happy read, I'll tell you that much. But it's definitely a book to pick up if you just want to feel something. If you just really want to connect with some characters and just, like, sit with them in their own problems, it's a great book for that. The really cool thing about Jeff Lemire doing both the writing and the artwork is he can seamlessly tell the story through his artwork if he doesn't want to use words. For instance, in the last scene where Pat is following Tommy leads him to this river, and Pat asks him, "Where are you taking me?" And he says, "You know where I'm taking you." When they arrive, it's this river, and there's this radio tower that Pat looks all the way up to the top at, and then he looks back out at the river, and there's a little Tommy, and he's going out into the middle of the river, and it's just like these little pieces that you start to put together. You don't know what happened to Tommy yet. They haven't exactly revealed that yet, but it's almost like, is this tower, is this river have something to do with that? Did Tommy climb the tower? Did he fall from that? Is that how he got hurt? Is that how he died? It's just great. I mean, the whole book itself is awesome.
Right. Jeff Lemire's foreshadowing has always been really good in his stories, especially when ones like you said, when he's doing the art as well. You do see that picture of the awkwardness of the girl leaving the cafe and just her ... And his facial expressions are actually pretty good, just with his art, and it really gives you a lot with each picture. And yeah, like I say, his foreshadowing just leaves you anticipated for more. This book does a really good job of getting you engaged and wanting to know more about these characters and what they're going through, and they're all a little relatable in some form or fashion, because every family has a little bit of dysfunction, admit it.
So what would you score this one?
Oh man, these books are really hard because the way they make you feel emotionally. I enjoyed the pictures. I enjoyed the art of it. I enjoyed the writing and the flow of it. I'm going to be giving this about a 4.25, 4.5, so let's say 4.35. And this book is in its own category. I really don't even almost want to call this a comic book because it is more of a story with pictures. It is a almost novelish with adding another element with the pictures. And so again, this book is done really great for me. I enjoy it. It's one I pick up every time it comes out, and excited to see where he continues to go with this and where the next twist is going to be in 5, and then when we come to the new arc in 6, what's going to be next for this family.
Yeah, I agree with you. This isn't a book that you can really put in any other niche other than maybe call it a slice of life. It's definitely a graphic novel. I would say that's how I would consider this book. That being said, I just think the talent of Jeff Lemire in his writing and his artwork to be able to seamlessly tell this story through both parts of this, I have to give this one a pretty high marks, this particular issue. I give this one a 4.75. I just think it's you really do feel something when you get through these books. And I know I've said that for every other one, but it just rings true, and it really does for this one as well for me. It just is a quality book. You're just really getting something good out of this, I feel like.
I do feel like once I come back and we get the reveals in 5, that I probably would give this book a higher score. That's ongoing. Whenever this book goes with Lemire, they're a big picture book. And so the big picture is really important with him. He's done that with some good graphic novels like Roughneck, which is a graphic novel. That didn't come out in issues. That was all one piece. And then a lot of his other stories are similar to that manner. So I continue to enjoy his work.
I do too. And I look forward to this book. Hey, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below.
There's also that subscribe button down there too. Make sure you punch that. We'd appreciate it. Follow us at Twitter at WhoDooTV, also on Facebook.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank our friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. Be sure to check them out. They got all sorts of nerdy stuff on there.
Links down in the description. Thank you for watching WhoDooTV. We appreciate you guys.